Thank you everyone for joining us. Today we're talking about a couple different things, but the title is Find Your Voice and Catch the Vision. I am Kimberly Klein. I'm the Director of Sales for North America, and I'll be guiding you along the webinar today. And we also have Christopher Caswell joining us from Sweden, and he's our International Sales Manager. We have a PowerPoint on the screen. It has a turquoise background with white lettering. And we will have the recording put up later, and also you'll be able to see the PowerPoint along with the recording. And for everyone that registered today, you will also get a copy of the PowerPoint because I will follow up with an email. I'm changing slides to the learning objectives. And today's learning objectives are to assess the value for an end user of a CCTV versus a reading machine. Also to increase an end user's comfort and confidence with their easy-to-use products. And to recognize that these two products offer 3 or more valuable solutions to the end user, and to basically make the differences between these products, the voice and the vision. We also have up on the screen, it's a picture, it's a diagram, it's called Bloom's taxonomy, and it's a pyramid, and it's basically a hierarchical ordering of cognitive skills that help teachers and students in the classroom. And it was engineered and pioneered by Benjamin Bloom in 1956. And it's really a cool little diagram. The bottom is it says remembering, and then you go up the pyramid, it says understanding, then applying, then analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So that is on this particular slide. This slide is a white slide with orange wording. So let's talk about the learning objectives for a second. So everything we'll be doing will be focused around this, and we will be talking about the differences between having a full-blown CCTV and having just a reading machine, and why would someone want one over the other. And we'll talk more about that as we go through. We will, of course, talk about the end user's comfort and confidence with these products. And the great thing about these particular products is they're both very similar. So once you learn one, you know the other, but there's different purposes for each product. And they have many valuable resources or solutions for end users, but we want you to be thinking about at least 3. Both of them do OCR or text-to-speech, so that would be one that they would offer the ability to put print underneath something and have it read to you. Both of these products also offer the ability to save. So you could save the document if you were scanning something in and wanted to be able to either read it later or use a portion of it later for a report or anything like that. So they both have the saving capability. So that might be another feature. Another really cool feature of this is, let's say you have very complicated documents that you're scanning in, and maybe when you scan it in, you go and you configure all the settings for, I'll give you an example, a personal example would be a power bill. And maybe you want to turn off column mode because you want it to read left or right. You want to slow the speech down. You might want to make the text bigger, that type of thing. So you would take the time to set up all of those settings, and then you can save them, and you could configure that and call that, power bill. And then maybe now you're scanning a newspaper in or something that's got multiple columns. So you want it to be in column mode. You also maybe want to make the size a little smaller because you're wanting to see it read down column 1 and then go to column 2. So both products do give you those features. So I'm just kind of giving you 3 examples, but I want you to be thinking about, as Christopher's moving through the demonstration of the types of products, other solutions that it may provide. And if you have questions about solutions, feel free to put those into the chat. And again, if you want to go into the chat, we will be monitoring it live, and it's Alt-H. And then you'll also learn how to choose the best product for yourself or the individual that you're working with. And you'll learn that by seeing the 2 different types of products and figuring out the best product for, again, you, somebody that you're working with, or maybe somebody for the future. One of the first products we're going to be describing and going over today is the MagnaLink Vision. And for some of you that are familiar with our products, you might say, oh, you've had the Vision around for some time. And that is correct. We have had the Vision around. We did a total redo of the product and released it this year, this year at ATIA. And what we have featured here on the screen are pictures of the new Vision. We have it in a 24 and 27-inch monitor, so those are two different options. We also have it with or without text-to-speech. On the slide that I have here, I'm featuring the units without text-to-speech. They look very similar, except the ones with text-to-speech does have an actual control unit that you use with it. It's a hand control. You might notice, if those of you that have full vision or that you can see the slide, but I'm going to describe it to you either way, but the actual monitor is ultra thin now. So it's very, very thin, sleek, and modern looking. Whether you go with the 24 or the 27, they're both exactly the same look. One's just larger than the other. And we also have changed to the 3-knob simple panel. Before we had a 5-button push panel, and that is an option. You're still able to get that if you choose to have all the other features. But this has really been a hit for us. We wanted we've had some resellers let us know that this was probably a better solution. So we tried this and it's really been a hit. People really like it. So going from left to right, the first actual button on it, or knob, I should say, is how you turn it on and off. And then the middle one is how you change the size. And then the third one over is how you change between full color, grayscale, and the high contrast colors. So Christopher will run through that in just a minute, but that kind of gives you a visual of some of the changes that we have made. The 24-inch monitor for magnification, it goes from 2x to 70x magnification. The 27-inch monitor goes from 2.4 to 85 magnification. And then Christopher will be showing you today, this is brand new, and we don't even have the kits here in the US. We will get them here though. We now have, with the new Visions, whether it's 24 or 27, or with or without TTS, it doesn't matter, but with the new Visions, we will have a splitter kit available. This will allow you to take the Vision monitor and use that for your computer monitor if you choose to do so. And then if you hit the button, it has an A/B switch on it. It will take you back to the Vision for the monitor. So what happened is people love these new monitors. They're very clear, they're anti-glare, they're very thin and sleek, and they're sitting there with their tiny little computer monitor. And they said, boy, it would be nice if we could use the 27-inch Vision monitor as our computer monitor. We're all looking for ways to save desk space, that type of thing. So you'll be able to do that. We also, this just happened last week. Someone reached out to me and said they'd purchased a MagnaLink S, the MLS, for one of their students. Excuse me, let me go backwards. They purchased a Vision for one of their students, and now their student needed to do distance viewing. They also wanted to keep the Vision because they love that 27-inch monitor, but they were wondering if we had any way to where they could actually hook the Vision monitor and have that work with the MLS, because the MLS does have the capability to plug into a monitor. And I said, I don't know. So we tried that with the splitter, and that does work as well. So then you could actually have the MLS focused on the board, use the Vision monitor to be able to see what it is you're looking at. And then if you want to switch back underneath the Vision monitor, you have the ability to turn the switch. So we will have those switch kits available in the US by the end of November. And the cost will be $245 for the kit to provide you. It has all the cabling, and Christopher will talk more about that in a little bit. So the pictures on the screen, the top picture on the top left has a picture of a Vision with a book open, and the XY table moved a little bit to the left. And then it's there's a vase on the left with orange flowers. And then the below picture just shows you how thin that monitor is, but you also can get a glimpse of the grab handles that are in the back. So there's 2 handles in the back that allow you to be able to pick up the unit very, very easily and move it. And then the bottom picture right underneath the wording actually shows a close-up of the 3-knob panel, and it shows a person's hand on the middle. They're making it larger by turning it to the right. So that's everything that's on this slide. The next slide has some information about the Vision TTS. So this would be the text-to-speech or OCR portion. So the picture in the upper left looks exactly like the picture that I just talked about, but it has the hand control actually there as well. The hand control has an orange button at the bottom and then 2 circular knobs. And Christopher will show that up close today and show you that you do have the ability to turn those knobs, and they will talk to you and will be able to walk you through using it. So this particular unit is the TTS version. So we have the little emblem up there with like voice sounds coming out, showing that this is the speech version. The bottom picture on the left-hand side is our F20 desk that we offer. The F20 desk has a large tabletop on it, and it's 23 by 5 by 23 by 5. And it also has a slider that comes out to the side if you were wanting to put your phone or a notebook or something like that. And excuse me, that is 10.5 by 16 inches. The table does adjust up and down, and the height goes from 22 inches to 31. And it also allows you to wheel a wheelchair right up to the table. The reason that I put this on here is because this particular table that we sell is a great table. It holds up to 75 pounds, and you could use it for the Vision. You could use it for any of our products. You could use it for maybe any of your assistive technology, as long as it's under 75 pounds. It's a great table. And if you have more questions about it, you can either put stuff in the chat and I can answer those, or reach out to your reseller in your area. And if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me at the end. So the ones with text-to-speech, again, the heaviest unit is very lightweight. It's only 29 pounds. The text-to-speech has a hand control. The buttons and knobs, they announce the functions as you're using them. And we have simple and advanced modes. And again, as I mentioned, you can set up user profiles. So we did that so different people could have profiles. So if a school's using it in the morning, you could have Kimberly having all these sizes and colors and want certain voices. And then later in the day, maybe you have a student named Matthew and you want to change the size and color and all of that for them. They're not taking the time setting that up each time. They could just go in with their user profile, open their profile, and it's going to have their settings. So that's a really cool feature that you can also use. And then we do reference that it's very easy to move due to the built-in handles. I see some questions popping up, and I'll check those in a minute, and Christopher can either verbalize them, or once he's showing everything live, I'll go into the chat and answer the questions. The next type of product that he'll be showing today is a reading machine. Ours is called the Voice. Pictured in the upper left-hand corner is a picture of the Voice, and it also has a hand control, just like the hand control for the Vision. So think of the Vision as you're looking at a monitor. That's why we're calling it the Vision. And then the Voice does not have a monitor. However, you can connect a monitor to it. That is an option. We give you the cables and everything when that is purchased to be able to connect it to it. But the Voice, very lightweight, 5.2 pounds. You're able to move it from room to room. It's a really cool, I call it sexy design, because the handle goes down, and when the handle goes down, it actually, excuse me, where the camera is that's up goes all the way down, and it makes a handle, and it allows you to be able to carry it around very easily. And the hand control magnetizes to the back, so there's no cables and cords. Then when you're ready to use it, you just put it on a desk and you flip it up, and the camera is hidden in that handle, so that's really nice. And you're ready to go. It also has paper guides, so you're not wondering, where do I put the paper? There's a paper guide on the left and right, and you just stick the sheet of paper in there, and it will take a picture and read it to you. So it's very fast and stylish, unbeatable in simplicity, super easy to use. And again, it's the same exact text-to-speech that's in the actual vision. It's a little computer that's inside that makes everything do all the magic, and it's the same type of software and everything that you're using between both products. It does have adjustable reading speed, volume. I mentioned audio profile, voices, very lightweight, and so many other features. It also offers voice feedback for all the functions. And if the paper is a little bit skewed, so maybe you don't have it exactly in that little area where the 8.5 by 11 is, and it's tilted a little bit, it will read misaligned documents and do just fine. It reads a full-size A4, which is a US 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It does offer automatic language detection. So if you were scanning a document in, part of it's English and then it changes to Spanish, it's going to automatically pick that up and do that at the time. It has extremely good depth of field, optimized for browsing large books, and digital documents on USB can also be read. So these are kind of the differences between a reading machine and if you have a dedicated video magnifier. And if that video magnifier can do text-to-speech, then you've got the 2-in-1. The bottom picture is showing it over a recipe book in the kitchen. That's what's so cool about it. You can just have it set off to the side and have whatever you need underneath it, hit a button, and it talks loud enough that you could be over cooking in your kitchen at the same time that you're listening to the actual speech that it's reading to you, the information that it just scanned. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We are going to go live to Christopher. And I'm going to actually pin Christopher so we don't get bouncing. So I'm still here live and Christopher is live, but I'm going to go in and check out the chat unless...
Let me know when I should start, Kimberly.
Anytime. Go ahead.
Anytime. All right. Very good. Lots of information and lots of comparison between the two products we will highlight today, the MagLink Vision and the MagLink Voice. As Kimberly said, my name is Christopher Caswell. I work as the export sales manager here with LVI from Sweden, where the headquarters is. And this is where we design, develop, maintain, manufacture all of our products. Behind me, I have the first product out, the MagLink Vision. But before we take a deeper look at it, Kimberly, feel free to jump in at any time. Speaking to just the camera in this case, since I don't see anyone or I don't get any feedback from anyone, could sometimes be a little difficult. So feel free to step in with any additional information or questions you may have.
Okay.
And the same for all of you here. Any questions, please ask, and we will make sure we cover those or answer those.
Perfect. And we can see and hear you really well. So perfect.
That's a very good start. So what I did behind me on my desk is on, it should be your right. I don't know if you're mirrored or not, but I have the MagLink Vision with a 24-inch monitor next to me now, displaying what's underneath the camera, which is a brochure of the product. Next to it, I have the same product, the MagLink Vision, and I thought we could take a little closer look at that one before we go deeper into the functions. And I will be running around this table back and forth because we do have some, as Kimberly said, some accessories and some different products to cover today. So the MagLink Vision is designed with a very sleek design. My one main arm or body holding the upper piece of it. The base is with an XY table, meaning that you put your material on this table and you can move it left, right, up and down. So it's smoother to slide your paper, which enhances the reading experience for many users. Our XY table is designed with a stop at the end, so the user cannot slide the paper too far. It's also designed with 2 metal plates. I know it's hard for you to see now, but I will describe it instead. So you have 1 metal plate, which will be your main surface. We do place a sticker on top here, so it's not slippery. There is a plate underneath that as well, and that is there to cover the user's fingers from getting crushed or hurt while you slide the table back and forth. It's also protecting some of the sliding rails from getting dirt or dust. On the XY table, when I'm using it, when I'm sitting or standing in front of the device, to my right, I have 1 brake. If I push it all the way forward, I will also lock the XY table in one of the directions. I have another brake at the front of the XY table, which will be just in front of me now. The same thing there. The more I slide it, the more friction I add. If I slide it all the way to the right, I lock the XY table. In case I'd like to work with some paper or an object without moving the tray. If I, let's see here, turn the device so you can have the back of it. As Kimberly said, there are two screen sizes, yes, but there are 2 options for the Maglink Vision, with or without text-to-speech. If you have the one with text-to-speech, you have 3 USB ports on the back of the unit, in the back down of the unit, and there is also 1 3.5 millimeters earphone plug. The USB ports, 1 will be used for your external controller for text-to-speech functions, and you have 2 available for USB flash drives to save and open documents. Maybe you want to plug in a computer mouse and use that. So when you have a mouse, you can click on the mouse pointer and it will scan the page as example. So those ports are available on the text-to-speech version only. One way of moving the device, I know since I'm having a stand-up table here, it's a little high for me, but by coming around, standing in front of the device or sitting in front of the device, coming around with your hands, grabbing 2 arms coming out on each side, those arms are holding the LED lights, 1 on each side. If I grab those arms, it gives me a pretty nice way to lift the device, kind of like 2 handles. And Kimberly mentioned the weight of the device. It's not too bad for being this big. Coming back to look at it from the side, it has, again, quite sleek design. We're mixing the dark gray black and the white color to give it a nice design. For many people are using these devices in their home environment, and the design and the look of the device is of importance. Continuing to show you from the side, the monitor can go up. So I just grab on each side of the monitor slightly, and I just drag it down and I push it out. If I'm a tall person, I may want to use it further up, or if I'm using, let's say I'm going to read a book or bookbinder or something underneath, it gives me more freedom. Oh, the timer of the lightning, sorry. I need to move more. So I can also tilt the monitor. So I can tilt it upwards. Again, if I'm standing up or if I'm a tall person, I may prefer that. And I can tilt it to my desired needs. Now I'm going to just put this one down on the floor, and then we will take a look at the functions of the product. And to come back to some of the functions that Kimberly mentioned in her presentation. I will have you come a little closer. Looking at the product from the front, Kimberly did already cover the panel, the controller. So on my left, I have a turning knob. It's large. It's coming out further than my thumb. So it gives me a lot of material to grab. So that one will, by sliding it clockwise, I will turn the machine on. Anti-clockwise, I will turn it off. Click, click. In the center of the panel, I have a large knob. They are all tactile, easy to grab, easy to move. And by turning this clockwise, I make whatever is under the camera, in this case, some text. I make it bigger. If I turn anti-clockwise, I make the text or the object or whatever I would have had smaller. On my right, I have also a large knob. If I turn it right, I add high contrast, white, black, black, yellow. And if I would turn it left, I would just do the same, but in negative. So light text on darker background or vice versa. Kimberly mentioned the 3-knob panel being popular choice. A lot of people are asking for simplicity when they're looking for a product like this. And when we designed this panel, we based it on a lot of the feedback we have had. Many people asking for large, easily accessed knobs and as few as possible. So this one has, for example, auto brightness adjustment. So you don't have that to care about manually. It's going to take care of that for you automatically. And this keeps the device very simple. Kimberly mentioned also in her presentation the external controller, which I am now grabbing. So the external controller is only included and only to be used with the product of the Magnetic Vision that comes with text-to-speech. So again, I got my on-off, zoom in and out, high contrast colors on the panel when I'm in the live view. But now it's time for me I'm tired of reading, so let's have the machine read out loud for me. So I grab my controller. There is a total of 6 controls on this controller, and we will cover all of them, starting from the bottom, which is a large orange square button. It's coming out quite a bit, so it's very easy to find and to click on it. So what I will do now is I will click on it once. What's happening then is the machine is jumping over to our scanning area. It's giving me black sides on each side with an orange frame, helping me to navigate where to place the document if I'd like to scan a full page. So whatever is in this frame will be captured when I press the same orange button. So this will be my second press, the same button. And when I do so, it will scan. So let's go ahead and do that now. It's giving me the typical camera sound. It's beeping, so I know it's processing.
Sweden is part of the Nordic region.
And before it continues to read, I will pause it. Some of you may already by now, or if we continue to have the machine read out loud, notice that it's actually reading in UK English. So again, you are with me live from Sweden now, and I forgot to change that license on the unit. So on this particular unit, I only have UK English and Swedish at the moment. It would have been easy for me to relicense it, but I forgot about that. So sorry for that. But I wanted to inform you about that. So looking at the controller, starting from the bottom, we already explained the orange button. That's the one that captures an image. Above that one, I have a large turning knob, tactile.
Volume 85.
That's adjusting my volume. Higher, lower. There is the same style of knob above that one. When I turn it, I change the reading speed.
Speed 110. Speed 105.
The machine is not only showing a window with what's going on, it's also telling me what's going on. Above those two dials, I have 3 tactile buttons. Starting with the one in the bottom, that will be my favorite function. As default, it's navigation. So if I'd like to go ahead and skip some parts of the text, I'd like to go further down, or I'd like to start over or go backwards in the text. I press this button.
Navigation. Press the function control to select, or turn the control to navigate.
And the machine is telling me what to do. Turn to navigate or press to select how to navigate. Character by character, word by word, sentence by sentence, column by column, or page by page. On the very top of the device, I have my last 2 buttons. The one on the left takes me...
has no function. Button has no function.
It's playing with me, Kimberly. Let me reconnect it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go over a couple questions because there's been some really good questions that have come up, and okay, I will go ahead and address those, and you can do what you want to do there. So we've had some people ask about the F20 desk. So the price on it's $445, and the product code is F20. That's the product code. You should reach out to me, though, because when resellers purchase these, they do have to purchase them in bulk of 5. So not every reseller carries these tables. So reach out to me to make sure I can direct you to the closest reseller in your area. Questions about the splitter cable. People saying that this would be so helpful. I agree with you. Whether you're using the 24 or 27 inch, it will be very, very helpful. Christopher will show that off. And you could use it to become your computer monitor and then go back and be the monitor for the vision. And or you can plug it into a MagnaLink S. And when you do that, you'll be able to do distance and be able to come back and forth. People are asking about prices. They're saying we don't have them listed on our website. That is correct. We don't. I'll type this in, but just so you guys have a range of pricing, the 24-inch vision without text-to-speech, we'll start with 24 without text-to-speech, is $3,445, and the 24 with text-to-speech is $4,505. And the 27 without text-to-speech is $3,595, and with text-to-speech is $4,655. I will type that in the chat as well, but wanted you to have that information. And you cannot add text-to-speech after. You have to order it either with or without because of the computer that's inside of it. The other thing about the panel, the 5-button panel. So they all come with 3-knob panels, and your reseller can order a 5-knob panel for you. We have them in stock, and the panels are very easy to change out. Why would someone go with a 5-knob or 5-button push, I should say? It does open up more color combinations. Right now, when Christopher went through those, you saw that it's got the black on yellow, yellow on black, white on black, black on white, grayscale, and full color. If you go with the, all the features are there, but the panel up front determines what features are opened up. And when you do the 5 knob, it does open up the other colors, and it also opens up where you can do line marking, line masking, and or if you needed to change the light. So there's no right or wrong. It's just a different panel, and we do carry them in the US, and they can be changed out very, very easily. Okay, I think I'm caught up on questions. I'll turn it back over to you, Christopher.
Okay, thank you. And you also gave me a moment to look at what time it is. So let's continue. I see that the clock is moving as always. So let's see where we were. One thing that you have, no, let's do this. Let me reboot the system. I don't know why it got stuck, but I think I need to reboot it.
While it's coming back up, Christopher, do you want to show the splitter? Are you able to quickly get it out, or is that going to cause issues?
I have it in my hand, showing it.
Perfect. I think if you go back a little bit, it's too close to the camera. Okay, perfect. Now, perfect. Now it's in focus. Perfect. So yeah, if you want to kind of talk about that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so with the switch, you have HDMI output and 2 HDMI inputs. And then on the top, you have one large button that you simply click to switch between the 2 sources. And the source that's active will be shown with the blue LED light. And as Kimberly mentioned, with this switch, you can connect, I think the most used one will be a computer, using the vision monitor, not only as your video magnifier monitor, but also it could be used as your computer screen. So if you have, for example, a laptop, like this is a standard Lenovo laptop I'm holding up here now, with probably about a 15-inch screen, maybe slightly larger, or you have a Surface Pro tablet or something like that, then eventually, every now and then you'd like to have a larger screen when you're going to do more reading or whatever it is. You can use the vision monitor for that. And you remember, you were able to take the monitor up and down. It is already close to the edge of the table. So for those that needs to be sitting fairly close to the monitor, they will come up close to it. So for some of those reasons, that's a popular accessory, or we have already seen it being a popular accessory. So let me come back to the machine, and we will soon connect it via that switch, and you will see how that functions. All the time so far, we have been in what we call simple mode. That means all you have seen me doing, that's all you can do. There is no menu to get lost in. There is no, you cannot go any further into any menus or sub-menus or anything like that. It's just very straightforward. So take the photo, change the volume, change the reading speed. You have your favorite function, which, as Kimberly mentioned during her presentation, you can customize that in the settings menu, but for most users, we know navigation is the one they're looking for and use the most. The 2 buttons on the top that didn't really work for me before, we'll see if we are back with that now. Yes, we are. So the one on the right will take me between my full HD live camera. So right now I moved over to the live camera that is controlled by the panel underneath the monitor. And pressing that same button, the one on the right at the very top, takes me back to my scanning area. If I have a scanned document from before, the one on the left will take me through my last scan, and this area if I want to scan a new page. I can scan multiple pages by scanning the same way I did before, hit the button on the bottom. If I then slide over to the second page and I want it to be scanned and then I want to listen to both of those pages, I press and I hold that orange button, and it will give me a little beep sound. And then it will tell me text appended, meaning that it's stored behind the first scan. And you can keep scanning multiple pages like that. And then it will start to read on the first page. And you will use the navigation feature to go back and forth, sentence by sentence, column by column, or page by page. There is a way to activate the menu on this device. So I press and I hold the upper dial for about 6-7 seconds.
Profile set to advanced.
There is an LED light showing green when in simple mode and blue when in advanced mode on the very top left of the controller. Now I know I'm in advanced mode. However, I close down the system, shut it off. It will come back next time I turn it on in that mode that I set before I should turn it off. All the functions, all the buttons are the same, but the upper dial, the turning knob. In simple mode, it was your volume. Now in advanced mode, I turn it and I will enter a functions menu. I have voice feedback on everything I do here. So if I turn once,
speed, turn the other knob to adjust.
Speed, turn the other knob to adjust. So if I want to adjust the speed, it's telling me to turn the other knob out of the two. Let's continue.
Navigation. Handle document.
Handle document.
Select.
So if I have a USB flash drive with documents on, or I'd like to save this document to this flash drive, I can plug that in the back. I showed you in the beginning what that looks like.
Column mode. Handle document. Save. Open. Delete. Save format.
I can decide which format I'd like to save it as. We have zip, we have docx, we have PDF, and we have WAV.
Back. Save for. Delete. Open. Save.
I'm fine saving as a zip file.
Press to save as a zip file. No scanned pages.
Of course, I didn't scan it before. I skipped that step. If I would have scanned it, I could now have saved it to the USB flash drive that we just plugged in. So that's saving and opening documents from a USB flash drive. Let's go over to, let me connect the computer here to the MagLink Vision. I will do so with an HDMI cable via the HDMI switch. There we go. I will turn on the computer. There we go. So I just connected my laptop that's now sitting next to this device. And I connected it to the HDMI switch that we have been talking about. And I get the image from my computer. Of course, if I had a screen reader software on here, I could enlarge this environment. If I use, in this case, Windows Magnifier, I could enlarge this. But this is just mirroring or displaying my computer image. So whatever I have on my computer will be showing up here. I can just go to our, let's say, our folders, just so you can see that we are live directly from our computer. I will unplug, let's see here.
While Christopher's doing that, I'm going to cover a couple other questions. You guys got to experience the UK English. In the US, we ship with US English and Mexican Spanish. Those are the two languages we ship with. In Canada, we ship with US English and French. And we are an international company, so we do offer 30 different languages. So if you came and said, well, I want German instead of Spanish, or I want French instead of this, etc., we offer 2 languages. It comes with 2 languages, and you can purchase additional languages if you choose to. but that is what we ship with in the US is US English, Mexican Spanish, and in Canada, US English and French. Great questions.
Okay, so what I just did was I unplugged the computer. I pressed on the HDMI switch so that we are back live with the video magnifier. And I now connected one of our other cameras that Kimberly talked about during her presentation. It's called the Menglink S. It's more of a collapsible, portable little camera that hooks up to any computer or any screen. And this one can also do distance viewing. So with that specific example that Kimberly mentioned, where one of our resellers ran into one or a couple, I don't remember, students that were using the Menglink Vision, but they were missing out on the distance viewing feature. So let's see here. I will be looking towards you. So I was guessing it would be in upside down because typically I would be looking in the other direction. But there we go. Now I'm looking at basically at you, my little video setup or webinar setup. But what's happening now is this little external camera device that's capable of doing distance viewing is now connected with an HDMI to the HDMI switch that's coming out of the Menglink Vision. And we are sharing the monitor, in this case, this 24-inch monitor, between these two video magnifiers. So I'm using the distance camera here, looking at that. Of course, I can do all sorts of settings with that. I can make it bigger, smaller, adjust any high contrast combo, add a masking guiding line, brightness, etc. And once I'd like to go back to my other video magnifier, which is the Menglink Vision, we're now, by pressing the HDMI switch, back live here, where I'm now able to read or scan a page where it will read out loud for me, and so on. Any additional comments to that, Kimberly, from your end? You have.
So I just want to clarify the splitter kit. You do need a kit. We will have this in the US by the end of November. The cost is $245. And I don't have the product code yet, but just if you wanted to pre-order splitters, you could just put splitter kit for Vision for right now. And that is the retail price, $245. Now Christopher is going to be showing the voice. The next question that usually comes up is the price. So I'm just going to clarify the price for the voice is $2,495. This product has a battery that lasts up to 5 hours, and it does come with all the cables to plug it into a monitor. And this is a portable device, so it does have a carrying case. The only product we have that doesn't have a carrying case, which is the Vision we just showed, because it's a desktop unit. Yes, you could move it from room to room. It's got the grab handles and it's only 29 pounds, but it doesn't have a case, where this particular product has a case. Okay, it's all you, Christopher.
All right, exactly. So first I can put the case on the table. So the case is black with orange zippers, a handle, shoulder strap, and then it has hard sides. So it's standing up nicely and it's protecting the unit very well if it would fall. The unit, as Kimberly said earlier, for those of you who remember, it's designed where it gives you a nice handle on the very top. I'm turning it around now so you can see how sleek it is. On one of the sides, the right side of the unit, if I were in front of it, I have on the top a tactile on-off button. I have below HDMI connection, so I could also connect this to an external monitor. And then at the very bottom, I have the charger plug. I can use it while it's charging. It gives me 5 hours of use and about 2.5 hours charging from 0 to full. On the other side or on the top of the device, I have no buttons, no controls. On the back of the unit, I have, at the bottom, I have the same connections that I have on my Maglink Vision with TTS. So I have 3 USB ports, where 1 will be always occupied by the controller, 2 available for example, flash drives. I have 1 earphone plug, the 3.5. I have a magnet holding the controller, and the controller is the same as we use for the Maglink Vision with TTS. I place the reader, the Maglink Voice 2, on my table. I take the handle and I kind of push it a little bit backwards, and it opens up so that the camera and the LED light comes up. From the side, you would see the base standing up and the camera arm coming out towards you. On the very bottom of the unit, the base of the unit, on each side, you have 2 small, let's say, feet coming out, helping the user to navigate with the paper to know where to place it. So by feeling, they know the paper will be in its correct position. It's scanning a full page. The text could be either on the side or even upside down. The machine will automatically adjust that when scanning, but the feet are helping to scan. So one difference between these products, not only the obvious size, transportability, etc., but also the Maglink Voice 2 is designed so that even blind people can be using it. I said it's the same controller, and yes, it's the same software on those 2. So you have all the same functions here as you have on the Maglink Vision with TTS, and they work exactly the same. So at the bottom, you got the big orange square button that will make the scanning. So if I press it now, I get the same feedback from the device, knowing that it's processing.
Facts about Sweden. Sweden is part of the Nordic region in Northern Europe, together with the countries of Denmark, Finland.
And on this one, I know we have US English, so this was a US voice. Of course, I can change to female voice, male voice. There are different variants. If I am multilingual, as Kimberly said before, we ship with more than 1 language. So if I were now to slide in a Swedish text underneath and scan, it will start to read in Swedish. It does not translate, but it's reading what the actual language is on the paper, as long as the unit is licensed with that, for that. So if you know one of these 2, you know the other.
Okay, it keeps going dark because Christopher needs to be doing like jumping jacks or something to note that. So he's in our new office, which you can see we have energy efficiency, like if somebody leaves the lights on, that type of thing, and leaves the room. So basically, these are 2 great products. There's no right or wrong. It's just really what's better for the user. If you want something that you're focusing more on listening versus viewing or looking at, then it's the voice all day long, because you can plug it into a monitor. So you can plug it into a monitor if you needed to quickly sign a check or right underneath it to do an assignment, etc. So we do provide all the cables for that. But if your main function is looking at text all day long, then you can't beat the Vision, because the 24 or 27-inch crystal clear screen, anti-glare, very thin, lightweight, and now you could even have that become your computer monitor, and or plug it into an S if all of a sudden you needed to do distance. And we didn't talk about, but you could plug it into a Pro and other products as well. But the S would be the most, I think, that would be used because it's portable and very small. I've answered a lot of questions in the chat, and I've tried to verbalize everything as well. But as always, if you have additional questions, you can feel free to reach out. I'm going to switch back to the PowerPoint and we are going to finish up. So I'm going to unpin Christopher. We're going to go back to me, and I'm going to share my screen. Are you seeing the PowerPoint, Christopher?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. We did want to talk to you about our next webinar. So the next slide is a bright white slide with black text, and it says LVI America monthly webinars. So we do have monthly webinars. The one for today, of course, we do offer ACB REPs. Next one, and for November and December, because in November we always try to do something that we're thankful for Thanksgiving. And then in November, we try to also do a Living with Low Vision. So for November and December, we'll have Living with Low Vision. November is November 6th, and it's Living with Low Vision, Seen with a Grateful Heart. And we are going to be, or I'm going to be interviewing Lindsay Kerr, and I'm very excited about that. It's going to be something you want to attend. She's just got such a grateful heart. She's had many wonderful things happen in her life, but she's had many challenges, and she talks about how she's gotten through those and how she now encourages other people, especially students that are struggling. And I don't want to give away her story, but you want to come and hear her. I tell you, I set up a time to meet with her for like 15, 20 minutes. And, an hour and a half later, I could not believe that much time had gone by. We really she has got a lot to share. She, provides all kinds of assistance. She's involved with so many things and has a blog. So please come and listen and join. The registration link for this is already up. So you can register at www.lviamerica.com/webinar and sign up now. And that's just in a few weeks. Normally we don't do them on Wednesdays, so this will be unique, but I had to catch her when she had an available day. And pictured at the bottom is a picture of her with her guide dog. She'll talk all about that because she loves her guide dog and it's made such a difference in her life. And the picture on the left is her using the MLS. She actually uses the MagLink S for school, but she also uses it for her job now as well. In December, we don't have that up yet, but we'll have it up shortly. We also are doing a Living with Low Vision, and another very interesting person that I'm actually going to be doing their final interview with them this week. And you want to definitely sign up for that. So keep on looking, and we'll have that up, and we'll send out, if you're on our newsletter list, we'll be putting it in the newsletter. And if you're just on our regular email list, we'll be putting something out in regards to that as well very soon. If you're looking for ACB REP credits today, I already put the entrance code. I have not given the exit code yet. I'll do that in just a minute. But what you want to do is, after today's webinar is over, you send us an email at acvrep@lviamerica.com. You'll put the entrance code and the exit code. We will reply back to that with a link to an evaluation form. Once you fill that evaluation form out and send it in, then you'll receive your, once we receive it, you will receive your certificate. Be patient with us. Those of you that knew Catherine retired, and so we are in the middle of a transition. And so just be patient if we don't get instantly right back to you as we did in the past. But again, email acvrep@lviamerica.com. Entrance and exit code. We give you the evaluation, and then once you send that back in, you get the certificate. Our contact information is, if you want to reach out to Christopher, his name is spelled a little bit different, so it's Christopher, and his email in Sweden is Christopher, Christopher.Caswall, CASSWALL @lvi.se. I am Kimberly Klein, and it's Kimberly, KIMBERLY .Klein@lviamerica.com. And my phone number is 702-468-6611. You can call me, you can email me, or you can text me. We also are very excited to introduce Lizzie. Lizzie took over Catherine's position. You'll hear more about that. If you're not registered for our newsletter, you'll want to do that because we have some information about Lizzie in there and also a farewell to Catherine. So that'll be coming out this week. But if you want to reach out to Lizzie and have any questions, she will be the one that will be handling the ACV REPs moving forward. Not yet. She started 7 days ago, and she spent the first week in Sweden, and she's just now getting her feet wet with everything. She started with us, and she lives in the Tennessee area, so she's on East Coast time. But you can reach out to Lizzie. Her full name is Elizabeth, so it's ELIZABETH.Harris, HARRIS, at LVIAmerica.com. And you can also call her at 423-822-8660. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to us. Have a wonderful day.